Pick any memory you're completely sure about, something vivid, something you would swear happened exactly the way you remember it. Here's the uncomfortable part. There's a good chance it didn't. Not because you're lying, not because you have a bad memory, because memory itself doesn't work the way you think it does. And the more confident you feel about your memory, the less that confidence actually tells you about whether it's true. If you've watched the last video, you already know the basics. Memory isn't a recording, it's a reconstruction. Every time you recall something, your brain rebuilds it from fragments, then saves that rebuilt version back over the original. What we didn't get into is how far that actually goes. Because reconstruction isn't just a small drift over time, it can completely fail to track the reality in ways that have real consequences for real people. This isn't just theoretical, it has real consequences. Eyewitness testimony is one of the most persuasive things you can present in a courtroom. A person looking the jury in the eye and saying, "I remember exactly what happened." And it's also one of the least reliable. Researchers have found that the confidence a witness expresses and the actual accuracy of their memory are only weakly connected. Someone can be completely, generally certain and completely wrong, not lying, not confused, just remembering a version of events that their brain quietly rebuilt to feel coherent. The scary part isn't that memory fails sometimes, it's that a failed memory feels exactly the same from the inside as an accurate one. It gets stranger. Researchers have shown that false memories aren't just possible, they're surprisingly easy to create. In one well-known study, researchers told adult participants a handful of real childhood stories from their own lives provided by family members. But they slipped in one fake story too, something that never happened, like getting lost in a shopping mall as a kid. Just by describing it convincingly and asking people to recall it a few times, a significant portion of participants didn't just believe the fake memory, they added details. They described how it felt. Some insisted they remembered it clearly even after being told the story was invented. Their brains didn't fail to tell the difference between a real and false memory. There was no difference to tell. Once it reconstructed and stored a false memory, uses the exact machinery as a real one. Here's the part that reframes everything. This isn't your memory being broken. It's working exactly as designed. Memory didn't evolve to give you a perfect archive of the past. It evolved to give you something useful right now. A flexible, edible sense of what's true, what's dangerous, who to trust, what worked last time. A brain that updates old memories with new information is, most of the time, more useful for survival than a brain that keeps a perfectly accurate but rigid record. The cost of that flexibility is exactly what we've been talking about. Every memory you have has been touched, reshaped, and quietly edited by every single time you thought about it since. You will probably never have this surgery, and you will never directly feel your brain's two halves disagreeing with each other. But the same machinery that creates that split is running in your head right now, quietly stitching separate processes into the single confident you that you experience every moment. Most of the time, the seams are invisible. Split brain patients are simply the rare cases where someone managed to see that. If you want to learn more about this topic, feel free to subscribe.